really something we want to take seriously.
And so we have to be grateful here that the Chinese posted the genetic code, because it was from that you were able to start working on it, understanding what was actually happening here.
Yep.
So once you have that code, why is that important? What does that unlock for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to thank the Chinese authorities, because without that, we really couldn't have done anything. So because we use a DNA medicine vaccine, we need the genetic code to be able to design the vaccine. So as soon as we received that code, we were able to immediately start designing the vaccine. And in 3 hours, we had a design ready and raring to go.
3 hours?
3 hours to
my
design a vaccine. And how have you managed to do that when in the past it took such a long time?
Yeah, so the vaccines that you and I are really familiar with, what we would call traditional vaccines, they're based on a protein, which is different from the type of vaccines that we develop at Inovio. And they take, in general, 2 to 3 years to develop. So you can imagine in an outbreak setting like what we're seeing in China, 2 or 3 years isn't going to help. Yeah. So that's where this new technology comes in, where we can really rapidly make a vaccine.
But it's still not quick. It's still not right. OK, there it is. That's fine. Let's get it all out there.
Exactly. It's not overnight. And it's important it's not overnight, because you need to perform the proper checks and balances to ensure it's safe and it's effective. So we're doing as fast as we can, but it's certainly not going to be tomorrow.
It has to be tested, doesn't
Exactly,
it?
absolutely.
So is it right that it'll be June before it's gone through its tests?
We're hoping June would be the first time we'll get it into human subjects for what we call clinical testing.
And then when will it become available?
That's kind of not necessarily up to us. That's then sort of the regulatory authorities then get involved and say, OK, we think it's effective enough that we should roll it out to the general public.
So when you've made it and it has been approved, how much do you have to make?
Well, in China, we're talking about 1.4 billion people. You know, in the United States, we're talking about 300 million people. So we're talking about huge amounts of vaccine. So you might even have the best vaccine in the world, but if you can only produce a few thousand doses, it's not really going to make an impact.
And so one of the most important things for you guys, I guess, is the investment behind it in order to manufacture something like this on that scale.
Absolutely. And we're really honoured to be one of 4 worldwide entities to have received a partnership funding from an organisation called CEPI, which is offices based here in London. And they were really, their mission was set up to respond to vaccine virus outbreaks like this.
Is this the one that has the backing of Bill Gates?
Exactly, yep, and the Wellcome Trust and a variety of different other government agencies.
And so